What is economic growth and how do we measure it? Imagine a country where more and more goods and services are available each year. That's what we call economic growth. It shows how an economy gets bigger and more capable over time. In macroeconomics, this growth isn't just about short-term changes. It's about the long-term ability of a country to produce more. When an economy grows, people usually have access to more resources. They can buy more things, save more money, and enjoy better public services. This can help improve living standards and reduce shortages of essential goods. To see how much a country is growing, economists mainly look at something called real gross domestic product. That's a fancy way of saying the total value of all goods and services made within a country during a certain period. The word real is important because it adjusts for inflation. This means it shows the actual increase in the amount of stuff produced, not just higher prices. If prices go up but the amount of goods stays the same, real gross domestic product stays unchanged. This way, we get a clear picture of true growth. Sometimes, we look at real gross domestic product per person or per capita. This divides the total value by the population. It helps us understand how the average person's standard of living is changing. If the economy grows faster than the population, then the amount of goods and services each person can enjoy increases. That's a good sign that living standards are improving. There are two main types of economic growth. One is extensive growth, which happens when a country adds more resources like workers or capital. The other is intensive growth, which comes from using existing resources more efficiently. Modern economies, especially those based on capitalism, focus more on intensive growth. This is because innovation, better management, and technology help produce more with the same resources. It's often seen as more sustainable and better for long-term progress. In capitalist economies, growth is driven by investments in new technologies and equipment. Businesses compete to improve and expand, which pushes the economy forward. Governments also play a role by creating policies that support education, infrastructure, and research. These efforts help shift the economy's potential outward, meaning more can be produced with the same resources. Measuring growth isn't always simple. While gross domestic product is the main tool, it has limits. It doesn't tell us how income is shared, how the environment is affected, or how happy people are. Still, in macroeconomics, gross domestic product remains the best way to see how well an economy is doing overall. When talking about growth in a capitalist system, it's about how markets, private companies, and government policies work together to expand what the economy can produce. Growth signals a healthy economy, but it's also important to look at other factors like employment, inflation, and how income is distributed. These give a fuller picture of economic well-being. So, in simple terms, economic growth is about how much more an economy can produce over time. It's measured mainly by real gross domestic product or real gross domestic product per person. In capitalist systems, growth depends on investment, innovation, and making the best use of resources. Knowing these facts helps us understand how economies expand and how their progress is tracked.